Alright, welcome to the Dead of Winter set review. We will be breaking all these into sections. Today, we're going to cover the colorless cards, so basically the shards and the artifacts. So we're just going to dive in. I'm doing this live over Twitch. You might be seeing it over Twitch or on YouTube, but I just want to get that intro out of the way. So you'll see people talking here and there, but this review is for constructed. I'm not the best limited player. Obviously I can give you some evaluations for limited, but I am better known as a brewer, better known as a deck builder, and I can evaluate cards a little differently than other people, just because I brew and I can tell what I can see synergies. I can do different things. I've been playing TCGs for all my life, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Enough about me. Okay, so let's start with this. Chalice of the Victor. 3-cost artifact that says when you play a troop, trigger each troop controls momentum. This card is unplayable. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I want to go over cards that are actually good and talk about them. This card is... there's better cards than this in Standard. Alright, Corners of the World. So Corners of the World is a 5-cost artifact that says when it comes into play, so deploy, align this with 2 elements of your choice. This is a one-shot, so like if it dies and you bring it back, you can't do it again, it's just one time. And I believe I have the elements on here somewhere. Oh, nope. Maybe not. Okay. This is what I get for not preparing well enough. I saved them somewhere. Okay, anyways, I'll go ahead and read over the elements. One element is the Sigil of Air, which is at the start of your turn, a random troop you control gets +2/+2 in flight this turn. Meh. Whatever. Sigil of Darkness. At the start of your turn, each opposing champion sacrifices a card with cost 3 or less. Okay. So every turn my opponent sacrifices a permanent that costs 3 or less. That's interesting. Okay, that's pretty powerful. Sigil of Earth. This gets, at the start of each turn, troops you control get +1/+1. Meh. There's better effects for this if you want to grow your troops. Sigil of Fire. This gets, at the start of your turn, summon a Blaze Elemental. So basically it makes a 3/1 cat with speed every turn. That dies in a turn. Oh, okay, sure, maybe. Sigil of Light. This gets, at the start of your turn, put a random artifact, constant, or troop with cost 3 or less from your crypt into play. So basically Oswald's Wish every turn. That is powerful. That's powerful. That's a powerful ability. And the last one is Sigil of Water, which is at the start of your turn it says draw a card and discard a card. And there's better things for that. Like if you want to filter your hand, you can play better spells. So the 2 most powerful sigils for this is going to be the Sigil of Darkness, which makes your opponent sacrifice something that costs 3 or less, or the Sigil of Light, which says during a start of your turn you get to put a troop, constant, or artifact, a random one, from your crypt into play. So if you do those and you're actually hitting your opponent every time and you're getting something back every time, that's pretty powerful. The problem is though, 1, this is unique. 2, it's super slow. It would have to go in a super slow grinding deck, and even then you have to be able to utilize like 2 sigils. This reminds me of a little bit of Fallen Singularity, but just different. I don't want to say it's unplayable, but it's pretty close. Like you have to build around it really hard, and I'm not really feeling it. Like it gets card advantage over time, but maybe sideboard card maybe, but I'm gonna say no to this card. Not really. Alright, next one. Dark Desire of Nulzann. 6-cost artifact troop. It's a construct. It's the first troop we've had that has double major sockets. And it says deploy, create 2 Dark Desired Nulzanns and put them into your deck. So it's 6 cost troop with 2 major sockets. This is going to be strongest in any type of Ruby deck because Ruby has the best sockets right now with Galvanism or Double Strike or Twin Strike. If you put 2 Twin Strikes in it, it does like quadruple damage. But the only problem is it costs 6. So you might see this as a singleton in socket decks. The reason being because those decks can reduce the cost of this. It won't cost 6. It'll cost like 5 because of Sentry Nulzann. What's up, Biz? I don't think this card will create an archetype in itself. I think socket decks might play one of these or 2 of these, or maybe one of the reserves for grindy matchups, but 6 is a lot. So, like, it's competing with Darkheart of Nulzann, which is pretty tough. But Double Major is huge. It's the first one with Double Major, so we'll see. Alright. Disruptor Drone. 2 cost artifact. 2 cost artifact. Can you socket 2 of the same majors in this thing? Good question. You can't, can you? Actually, I don't think you can. Never mind. It's worse than I thought. This card's actually worse than what I thought. So, the only place I see this card seeing play is as a one-up in socket decks. Otherwise, if you're control deck, you'd much rather have Darkheart Nulzann. So, I don't think this card is. If you can't double socket majors, then this is a lot worse. So, Disruptor Drone. 2 cost artifact. Hey, Dr. Beowulf. 2 cost artifact creature. 3/1. Sacrifice this, destroy target constant. Not bad. It's a good reserves card. You can play this over like something like Nature Reigns if you just want to. If you're an aggressive deck, you might try to play a creature that can destroy constants instead of a spell. Or if you can recur this somehow, like maybe you're playing something that recurs creatures in some way, then this is better in your aggro deck. This is a reserves card, maybe never a standard, never a main deck card. All right, Dyna-Dummy. 1 cost artifact troop. It's a robot. Has Gladiator 1. So on your turn it's a 1/2. On your opponent's turn it's 0/3. Has Death Cry. Target troop you control gets Gladiator 1. Eh? No, not really. We have better 1-drops. This card's like, I want to say not good, but aggro decks play some of the derpiest creatures and they get there because there's aggro. My vote is probably not, but I wouldn't be surprised if I died to this in an aggressive deck because aggressive decks they can kill you with almost any creatures as long as they're cheap. I think we have better ones out there than this one. We like War Torn General. We have like no. I say no. Electroclaws. 4 cost artifact. When it comes to play, target troop control gets +2 attack and crush. Keep in mind this is permanent. This is not until end turn. When it comes to play, it gives a troop +2 attack and crush. And then basic, sorcery or basic speed, you can pay 4, sacrifice this, target troop control gets +2 and crush. This is a limited card. We're not seeing this in any standard decks. Eternal Architect. Alright. 5 cost artifact troop. It's a 3/3. It has flight. It says at the start of your turn, all non-resource cards in your deck get cost -1. Keep in mind this is in your deck, not in your hand. So it's pretty absurd. The only thing is creatures are so powerful in Hex that you need to be proactive. They need to do something very strong when they come into play, or when they die. The effect has to be really good, or they have to be like cheap cost and high power and toughness. Think like Crusaders. The Crusaders are like 3 cost 4/4s with powerful death cry effects. This guy is a 5 cost 3/3 with flying that you need to ready with to get this ability. But don't get me wrong, the ability is powerful, but the only way you can justify playing this card in your deck is if you ready this guy one time, you need to win. It needs to literally win you the game. Otherwise, you're paying five resources to to die to Strangle. And this card, I'm not even sure how much better it is than Eternal Bastion. Eternal Bastion is a 5-cost, it's a 4/6, and it says at start of return, permanently reduce your charge power by 2. Again, this card is a great combo card. It's a great enabler. You have to build really well around it, and you have to be able to destroy your opponent when you attack with it one time. Is it playable? Not in any normal deck. You can't just put this in your deck and expect to for it to do anything. You have to build a super great deck that uses this really well. You need the stars to align, the moon to align. You need to howl. You need it'd be Friday on 2 p.m. And if you build this deck, this card will be great. So it's very niche. It's sweet card, sweet effect, very powerful. But it's going to be very hard to find this a home that's actually good for them. If you play in a monk deck, it makes it easier to get what you want to do. But is it worth it? That's the thing. You have to untap it one time. It's not that easy to untap with a 5-cost creature. It's not even like a constant. It's a troop. So it's a 3/3 troop at that. So it dies to almost any removal spell, Feed the Flame or Pyre Strike, Strangle. Dice a lot of stuff. All right, these are the new resources. Feral Fuel. Okay. Like the last set, these will secretly be the best things in the set. Believe it or not, in the last set we had the Ice Shards were by far the best cards in the set. They're just so subtle. People don't notice it, but they go in almost every deck. You play 2, 4, some play 6, 8, whatever. These will be very powerful too, and they will be. This is my vote for this cycle of shards or resources is my vote for obviously the best in the set. Feral Fuel is comes into play. You can use it right away. Gives you a red threshold. It says create a drop of Feral Fuel. The drop of Feral Fuel gives a troop gladiator 2. It's a basic action, which is crazy. Your resource, your land is giving you a spell. It's just very powerful. This card is again very very good. You don't get a charge, but that's worth it. Not getting a charge is fine when you get an actual spell. Alright, okay, this is the wild one. Ludicrous Libations. 1/1 says create a drop of Whimsy. The Whimsy lets you. It's 1-cost action that transforms a troop. Transforms a troop to +1 with the same shards. This one is not as good as the rest, but it's still fine. You can transform a Dreadling or whatever and just keep it around. It's okay. The Feral Fuel I think is really good. This one is fine. It's still good. It's still a free spell. Like in draft, it's a rare, so you don't see much in draft, but it's a good spell. Sorry, I copied this directly from Tech's website, so the shards are not in order. They're in a file, and they just go by name. So, all right, we'll come back to them. Mecha Mutt is a 5-cost artifact troop. Has Gladiator 2, Cycle Miner. This is limited card only. Will not see this in any standard deck. All right, back to these guys. Nameless Draught. This one is the blue one. It's a drop of Chaos. The Chaos is an action that lets you bury the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. This one is sweet. It's a nice way to play a mill card without having to play an actual mill card. Compare this to Lunacy, which is a 2-cost quick action, bury 5 cards. This is great. It's a resource that lets you mill your opponent for 3. It's also an action that can trigger other things. Actions trigger things in this game too. So this gets 2 thumbs up. Great mill card that doesn't take a mill slot, and that's the best. Think of cards like Cult of Nameless City. Cult is a mill card, but does something else, which is very powerful. After all, you can draw 3 cards, and that's why it's so good. Cards like Fever Bloom, or just cards that just mill and do nothing else, aren't that great. But cards that mill as a side effect, or mill to do something awesome, like Cult of Nameless City, or maybe even Azure Fang Decree is fine. This is great. This is a resource, so this will definitely see play for sure. Alright, Random 3000. 2-cost artifact, target tribute control gets +1/+1, and a random boon permanently. Sacrifice this, do the same thing again. Limited only. I'm not seeing this in constructed. How do you say it? Replipopper? Replipopper 4000? Okay. 3-cost artifact troop, the robot. Deploy. This gets 2 random boons. When this deals combat damage to an opposing champion, sacrifice this and summon 2 2 more puppers. 2 more pupper for thousands. No for standard. We're playing things like 3 cost is very powerful in Hex. I'm sure if you've been playing Hex, Replipopper, so like replicate, got it. If you've been playing Hex, you know the 3-drop slot is always full. We have like Crusaders, we have Fanteo, we have Vampire Princess, we have Promiscuous Succubus, we have Ruinian Hierophant, we have the Librarian. Now we have this new green-white Shamrock guy. Like 3-cost troops are very powerful in Hex, and this one doesn't hold a candle to those troops. So sorry, Pupper, not today. Rift Core. All right, 1/1 resource. It does not give you a threshold, but it gives you a charge. While this is in your hand, you can pay 2 and discard this, create an uncommon portal, and put it into your hand. An uncommon portal is a card that goes into your hand. It's uncommon, and every turn it changes into something else that's uncommon that you can cast. Lose half what you said. It's fine. Okay, still, it's still not good enough. Rift Core, I think, is also not good enough. I don't think this card is. You have to be mono shard color. You have to be mono shard color and not playing a payoff card like Mage Dragon Flames, Might Singer of Ages, Empress of Ice, Bride of the Damned, or Daughter of the Poet. And that's just, I don't really see it. It says best in monocolor decks, but monocolor decks have better payoffs. And even in control decks, like, do you want this? Rather have Ice. I don't want to get mana screwed turn 1 or 2, so. Sweet. It's cool limited, though. It's a cool, like, 18 shard limited. Or if your monocolored limited is sweet. Robogoyle. 5-cost artifact troop. 3/3 flying. When this is buried, put into play. Deploy. Put 5 random cards from your crypt into your deck. Alright. This card is obviously a reserves card in case Mill or Berry decks are too strong. Any decks can play it. They can just slot in 4 into their deck. When it's Mill, they get free 3/3. And then they show up 5 cards from their graveyard into their deck. Very good against Berry decks. I guess it's just a nice emergency button in case Mill or Berry becomes too powerful. Reserves card, possibly, but Berry has to be very powerful for it to be in reserves, obviously. Twilight Scout. 3 mana, 2/1, flight, Deathcry, Verdict, limited. Cool limited card though. Twilight Sentry, 4 cost 5/5, deploy, put an artifact or constant you control into your hand. Limited. Not sure how good it is limited, but it's a limited card. Twilight Watcher. Well, you control a constant. This has +1/+1, so it's a 3/4. You're playing Polygoot for 3. Limited. Alright. This one's sweet. This is the white resource. This is the white cycle. Wax of Sacrament. So it gives you white threshold and it creates a drop of wax. Puts it in your hand. The drop of wax is a sorcery. Is a basic action. When you play, you get to illuminate 1. So it's a resource that makes a 1/1 or gives all your Candlekin +1/+1. Yeah, please. This is great. This is absolutely fantastic. Like these resources are phenomenal. They're all phenomenal. Oh, is that it? Is it all the colorless cards? Okay, well that's all the colorless cards. I'm gonna end it here for YouTube. So I'm just gonna say bye for YouTube. You can watch my next video somewhere. I'm not a YouTube expert, but they'll be somewhere on YouTube, on my channel. All right. So next up, we're going to do my color. All right. So now we're going to take a small break. Now I can talk to chat. Okay. Let's